Come on, dance it in. Talking about average view duration today. We're jamming out. I don't know where my partner in crime is, but I'm sure he's on his way. All right, let's bring this music down. I have a feeling I'll be talking to myself for a little bit, but I'm good at that. I can talk to all the voices in my head. So I think we need to talk about average view duration. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not joking when I tell you this. My average view duration in the last 6 weeks, last 6 videos I put out, they've been the pits. And so I want to share with you what I learned. So I had to dial it back, sometimes we get so used to being on automatic that we kind of forget what we should be doing in the first place. And I am 1000% guilty of this. I'm like, I have a million things going on. It's Christmas time. I gotta go ahead and just put out a video, which I never should do. And neither should you. You should have these videos planned out. And I had no plan. I had no plan. And I've been putting out videos, just kept, trucking along. And my average view duration for the last 3 videos has normally it's around between 70 to 65%. It's like 23, 40. Like the highest I've gotten in the last 6 weeks was 42%. And I was like, I'm doing terrible. And it's my own fault because I wasn't paying attention to what makes a good video. And one of the biggest mistakes I know that people make when they're start on this journey is they don't have a good hook. Your average view duration is very in line with the hook that you have. And that's the first 10 to 20 seconds of your video that will pique the interest of the viewer. That 20 seconds, if you watch it doesn't even matter if it's real estate content or not. It's those first 20 seconds literally let the viewer know exactly what they're going to get from the video. There used to be the training of thought, that you would hear from people is that, well, if you just repeat the title of the video, then you're going to get good average, AVD, and you're going to get good SEO. No, I mean, maybe in 2017, maybe that was it. Maybe that would work then, but you're not going to trick the system. And the computer system is based off the viewing patterns of people that are watching your videos. And it doesn't matter if you spit out the title of the video right at the first sentence. If it isn't interesting and the viewer clicks off, the algorithm is not going to reward you, and your average view duration is going to tank. There's no other way around it. So you have to make it visually appealing. You're going to have to make those first 20 seconds mean something enough to the viewer that they want to watch the next 20 seconds. Another thing that I'll say that I see all the time, it doesn't happen as much as it used to, but it's still happening to this day. If you're spending the first 20 seconds, hey guys, we got a really good video today. We got a super great video. I'm going to be talking to you today about, 5 ways that no one ever tells you to buy condominiums. But before we get into that, I just want to let you know that my name is, Charlie Pingree, and I work at blah 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 real estate office, and I really appreciate this. If you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to my channel, but because we need to be talking about this. I got some great information about buying condos. I saw somebody do that. It was literally 1 minute and 20 seconds before he actually got into the first tip. Drove me crazy. I'm like, holy crap. So not interesting, but I'm guilty of it. I'm just as guilty of it. I just was long-winded on a video and it is tanking. It's my own fault. 100% my own fault. So everybody needs to be spending time with that first minute of your video is so imperative. I actually heard from a very big YouTuber several years ago that he tries to make the first 2 minutes of his video the most interesting 2 minutes, and everything after that is just fluff and utter. Everything after that, he could care less about. After that, he knows if he's made it, he's got that view duration that is over 90% for the first 2 minutes, he's like, he doesn't even care after that. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it doesn't matter after that. If I get them on there for a solid 2 minutes, after that it's all gravy. I'm like, huh. So he puts in everything, all he could possibly do in those first 2 minutes to make it super interesting. So I would love to know what you guys are doing for your average view duration, what you're doing to bring it up. I'm gonna go text Joe, Mr. Joe Eves, and see where he's at. Where you at? I wonder if you forgot. Um, the one that really bothers me is when you ask people to like, share, and subscribe, and people will ask me all the time, like, why is that a bad thing? It's a good thing to get people to like, share, and subscribe. And of course it is. Of course it is. But your content should be good enough that you don't have to ask them. They're just gonna say, oh my God, I need to share this with my friend because she's trying to buy a condo or whatever. And so it should be that good. And if your brokerage requires you to say the name of the brokerage that you work for, just say it at the end of the video. I mean, honest to God, it doesn't matter when you say it. I just, nobody cares who you work for. I know that you think that your brokerage means something to the public, but I promise you, on every fiber of my being, nobody gives two flying flips what brokerage you work for. Not at all. They care about what you could do for them. So I'm going to tell you that too. And, you can use lower thirds to get that point across, like asking people to like, share, and subscribe. You can just use that as a little, like a little lower thirds that shows up, a little pop up, a little guy, little thumbnail going like this. You don't need to ask them to do it. Years ago, it was something you asked people to do because it was a new platform. Nobody knew what to do, like what is this? What is liking? What is sharing? How do I do that? Now we've all been on social media now for over 10 years. We know what it means. You don't have to ask them to do that. If they like you enough, they're going to subscribe. Now, I will tell you, because I learned this at a meeting, that if you're looking to get more sponsorships and like more brand deals with companies, that subscriber count means something to brands. It means a lot to them. Even if you have a ton of views, if you don't have a lot of subscribers, for some reason, companies are obsessed with the amount of subscribers you have. Because actually, to tell you the truth, for the amount of views to subscriber ratio, I'm actually low. But I think it's probably because I never ask anybody to subscribe. I haven't asked anybody to subscribe in over 4 years. So if you're trying to get more brand deals and you have all these views and not enough subscribers, they'll turn you down. So something to be aware of. But if you're going to do it, ask at the end. Ask at the end. Oh, look, we got some people in the house. Hello, Manuel. Hello. We got Joe. How's it going? Oh, Joe's in the chorus with Joe Eves and I. So this Joe we call good looking Joe. He said I would kill for 42%. The thing is that I've had some, like, my last two have been in the 30s and 20s. That's freaking terrible. Terrible. It's my fault though. I'm gonna fix it. You're gonna watch. It's all gonna turn around. Jeremy Blanton says, "Good afternoon, Joe and Christina." If the other Joe was here, yeah. Living in Greenlee says, "Hello, good afternoon." Hello, living in Greenlee, Colorado. Joe normally brings up the guys on the thing. So let's just, oh, wait, hold on. Technical difficulty. He said he's hurrying, so he's going to be on his way. But Manuel, didn't you ask for a review? And I want to ask you guys, like, what is your average view duration? Those that are in the chat. What is your AVD right now? For your last video and for your whole entire channel as a whole. What is your AVD? Chagrin Valley Living. Hello from Ohio. I've never been to Ohio ever in my life. I've never been. And I know it's like, for some reason, like the most pop-in area to move to. So, all right, let's see. We got one right here. Joe said, I did a 17-minute video and my AVD was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So you had like a 20% or like, yeah, you had you're like me. All right, we got 2.51. Yeah, but how long was the video? Was it 2.51%? What was your AVD percentage? Oh, look, we have a friend.
Hey,
Nice of you to make it, my friend.
did you see the angle? It's a little different. It's because I got a new computer and I just realized that I didn't install the driver for my DSLR.
Oh, how funny. That's fine.
So
Let's
it's not even working. And then I found out that my new system doesn't even support it yet. So
Oh, that's funny.
that's sweet.
Chagrin Valley Living said he's had a 4 or 5 minute video with a 40% AVD. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
You know that like Mr. Beast and some of the bigger ones, they have their AVDs are like they start off at 100%, even with like they start off at 100% always. And then they settle into the like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
They settle in at the 70s and 80s.
Which is insane.
I don't even have that kind of attention span for anybody. Like very rarely am I like totally gripped watching anything. Most of the time when anything's on, I'm actually doing something else at the same time, whether it be like a crossword puzzle, a word search, something. Because I can't, nothing really grasps my attention the whole entire time.
I think it depends on, like, for me, it's like if I'm looking for something, like a solution for something, and even then, depending on how they edit it, it might like drive me nuts to where I'm like trying to skip through to get to the part that I want them to talk about because they just ramble on forever.
I was just talking about that. The other thing though, that you made a good point about the editing. So I was actually listening to a really good video. I was listening to it and I was like, oh, and it grabbed my attention enough that I actually started watching the video. The editing was so obnoxious. It was so obnoxious. They kept adding stuff in there for no reason
And you're like, you
whatsoever.
don't need that. Yeah.
It was like it was overdone. It was over edited. And I've had that that problem with my own videos. I've had them over edited. I'm like, this is like eye vomit, like it's
Yeah.
overdone,
I've had people where they're like, your music is way too loud. Like, can't even understand you. Turn it down. And they get all mad.
Most people do not like music.
Yeah.
Most people will piss and moan at every video if you add music.
What I've found for like a couple like things that my avatar likes is a little bit of music that's dramatic in the beginning for like the hook. But then as soon as you start talking, like I cut all of that off because it drives them nuts. I've had people like, you can like just do it without music. And they get mad, they get fiery. They're really mad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
We got people saying that their average length of video is about 9 minutes.
That's good.
Jeremy says his AVD is 5 minutes and 30 seconds. When I go to Lifetime, it's 4 minutes and 59 seconds. So that's pretty good, actually. just got a comment that said painful to watch.
Yeah.
I got told that that my reporting was good but not good enough. But go ahead and try to keep up the good work.
You got a little accolades of atta girl. Keep it up.
Atta girl. You keep trying, you cute little thing. You just keep trying. So cute.
Oh.
We get Jen Sylvester saying greetings. Oh, captains, my captains. Yeah, but that they watched. Yeah, but I'm just trying. I'm just trying my hardest,
I always tell them, I'm like, if you didn't like it, the next one, I promise, I'll put that in there, and then like see if and then some of them I've like bantered back and forth with, be like, yeah, you could find someone else then too. Depends on like the mood I'm in.
Yeah. Well, I had noticed because now that they have it where sometimes when they comment, they show the whole like how many different places they've commented on.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say something snarky to this person, but they have commented on many, many videos. So I was like,
and you're like, I don't want to leave them. Yeah.
I'll let this one slide.
That's funny.
And he wasn't like snarky on the other one. So, you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Very new here. How do you find out within your analytics page? Um, let's see. I don't know if this channel. Let's see. If I'm logged into another channel. Okay, so here we go. Present. Share screen. Share.
There it is.
Okay. Yeah. So if you go up to your thing right here, up to this little menu, it's going to say your channel, YouTube, switch account, sign out, and then it will ask, they'll have one right underneath it that says analytics. It'll just ask you what your analytics are. I'm going to go back one page so they can see that. So this was actually this is my daughter's account though, but it's going to ask you for your analytics right here. So you go to YouTube Studio. You just click on that YouTube Studio. And it's going to take you to here. And then it's going to have all these little analytics. So it's going to say dashboard. So this dashboard usually shows you your very first video that you've ever uploaded. And that will give you some statistics about that once it's been released for a couple hours, right? Then it will show you all the content you've ever uploaded. So you'll have your videos, your shorts, your live streams, any playlists you've made. This is a new tab, podcasts. So some of you that have done some live streams in the past can turn those live streams into podcasts, and then promotions, your ads. So then we have your analytics. And this is where you would see your average view duration, right? It would have all that down here. And it would give you a lifetime viewing of this, right? And then it would show you, through your content. And then these tabs shouldn't be ignored because it can literally tell you who your audience is. So it will give you those demographics. So if you look over here in your audience, it can give you an average age. It can tell you what other things your audience is watching. They can tell you exactly how your audience is watching it. Are they watching it on their phone? Are they watching it on an iPad? Are they watching on television? Biggest change for me this year, this 2023, was more people were watching it on their television than ever before. Most of the people used to watch on their phones, and that changed drastically to television. So these are really important to go in there and just don't get lost in the sauce, especially if you're new. Just go in there and look at some stuff. Like click some buttons. You're not going to hurt anything. Just don't hit delete.
Yeah.
If it says delete, don't push it. Yeah. So yeah, I would do that. Just take a look. Little gander over there. Very simple to find. Anything you want to add there, Joe Eves?
Yeah, I mean, if the biggest thing is as you're looking at your analytics, just like you just mentioned, if you're filming and you realize that, hey, the majority of the people are watching on TV now, you probably need to upload in 4K.
I do. I do.
That's the one thing that like will look totally different as opposed to the phone or a computer. Is if they have a high def TV, which almost everybody has now, and these smart TVs that have YouTube built right in, if you film in 4K, it's going to look so much better than like you could get away with 1080p, but like more and more people are switching to TVs. So I'd highly recommend doing, if you're not filming it in 4K and your camera can do it, like your phones can do that, I highly recommend you do it.
I was just gonna say your cell phones now can film in 4K, which blows my mind.
Yeah.
I will also tell you to go ahead and get an external hard drive because that 4K footage will make your hog up your computer system.
But the thing is that a lot of people are like, well, it's slow at editing. There's proxy servers and other things you can do to speed up your editing process, so you're still editing it in a lower resolution, but when it exports, it's 4K and it just goes super fast.
Manuel says that the audience is about 80% of his audience is on TV. They're watching it on TV. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And it wasn't like that. I mean, it literally flip-flopped in 1 year. In 1 year, I was almost exclusively phone, and then it was just a few, maybe 10% TV, and then the pandemic like right towards
Everyone.
the end of the pandemic, people switched to TV. More people are cutting the cord and went to streaming
Mhm.
services too. And if you don't know, YouTube TV is really good, and it's not that expensive. So if you're like thinking of cutting the cable cord because your cable company's being a jerk, go to YouTube TV. They actually have a pretty good selection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like understanding where your audience is and then following the guidelines that will give it, best practices for them is going to make it that much better. It's not that it used to be people were worried, well, if I upload in 4K, then it's going to lag and it's going to time out and all this stuff. They've
It
fixed all
used
of
to.
that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
used to.
It
Yeah.
did, but
Mhm.
now, they obviously fixed it to go off of like whatever their, internet provider is doing and it'll auto do it. So,
Right. When I was having problems with my internet, it automatically went to like 480p.
yeah, you're like, I can't barely see
I
anything.
can barely see anything, but at least it's playing. Yeah, Joe says that, this is good looking Joe. Joe
Mm.
says a lot of my audience stats says not enough audience data to show this report. Yeah, and that's going to happen. Yeah, I had that for a very long time. I think
Yeah,
for
if you
almost
don't
2 years.
have a lot of information or your channel's not built up yet, that's gonna be something that it just doesn't have enough information to give you real good information yet.
Yeah, so he was saying that 23.7% is his average view duration. Yeah, it was under the percentage viewed. Yep.
So
Yeah.
what are the things that, we could suggest to these, people that are on right now and helping them get there? Because we do teach this, so what is
Mhm.
some of the stuff we can do to help them get more retention and to keep people hanging instead of getting that hockey stick?
Right. So the first thing that everybody needs to do is that, like, whenever you release a video and it's been a week and it did kind of crummy, go to the video itself, go into the analytics, and you'll see a little graph at the bottom. And that graph usually, from what I've seen, if you have low AVD, it will look like a hockey stick. It literally go like this, and then it goes whoosh, and then it all of a sudden will plateau out, and then it goes across. Um, that right there is telling you that your hook is bad. And you know, what used to work a year ago as far as a hook is concerned is may not be the same as it is a year later. Your audience may have changed. There's going to be things that you need to do to change it. Um, I know that, like, I have some pretty busy uh hooks. They've got a lot going on. And now I know that I have to kind of dial that back. Like, my audience is like, it's just too much for them at the beginning because I have an older audience. But those are things that you learn by studying your hook and your analytics. So that's what I would say is, really pay attention to that first minute. The 20 seconds are super important. The next 20 seconds, of course, are equally as important. And what I was telling them earlier is that the one guy said that I put everything I could possibly put into that first 2 minutes, and everything after that is kind of gravy. He said if I can
Yeah.
keep them on for 2 minutes after that, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
So he said he puts everything into the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of content is now, they're almost giving you the reveal in the hook, and then
Mhm.
they've put it in a way that you can actually watch, like, okay, they don't give you everything, but they give you enough that you're like, oh, I want to hang on and still watch this because they've dangled that carrot to say, hey, later on, without saying later on in the video, they show it.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
it's I like a lot of people are starting to do that I've noticed, and I'm like, "Oh, I wonder why they're," and then it's like, "Oh, because their videos are 10-15 minutes long, and it's towards the end that they actually, show that." So, and some of the retention's been, I mean, I watch it. So,
Right. So, well, they even do that on TikTok. They
yeah.
show the reveal at the beginning, and then you wanna know, like,
You're like,
so
"Wait, how did they get there?"
how did that happen? Like,
Yeah.
how did they get to that point? So, I've been seeing that a lot. They said, "What's normal for watching after 30 seconds?" What's normal? Like, if you can get them if you have 100% AVD at the first 30 seconds, you've lost nobody. You've won the lottery as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
yeah,
Yeah.
game over at that. But most of the time, because people do either they lag, they take too long, people get uninterested, and it just kind of drops. And then you'll
Mhm.
see kind of like this little line that goes across. I want to keep looking at this camera, but it's this one that's on right now.
Yeah.
But that is one of the things. So like part of what you can do is have more either graphic or animation or something to kind of help move along that so that they're entertained and educated on that 30 seconds so they don't leave. If it's just you welcoming them to your channel, and then you're telling them the brokerage that you're with and that you're want them to subscribe and all of that, then you've lost them. So if you're
Mhm.
starting with all of that stuff, then that's why you have one of the reasons why you'll have the hockey stick of death.
The hockey stick of death. Wow, that sounded criminal.
It's bad. Nobody wants to see that on their analytics.
Yeah, I'm gonna show them, like, I use this little image for a thumbnail, and I'm gonna show them exactly what I'm talking about, because I mean, I'm like, I was very honest. It's happened to me just recently, so I'm willing to I'm willing to tell on myself, you know. So here we go. Let me share this screen because I wanted to make the image. It's actually in the thumbnail itself. Um, Oops, no, not that one. Let me find another one. Sorry. Mm, present, share screen, big monkey. Sorry about that. Oh, here we go. All right. So if you look at this,
Mhm.
it wasn't good, right? But I'm like, I wanted it to be very clear, and then I didn't want to tell on myself like how bad it was. This is how bad it really was. Oops. Oh, come on. Wrong one. This is the truth. Ready? 2.59.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the truth, right? Let me put this up. Hold on, let me remove that. 34%.
You're like,
That was
oh.
my last video. 34%. It's so bad. And it's right here at this beginning. It was right here. I had like they were watched and they were uninterested, and then a bunch of them just fell off. They fell off a cliff. And then the people that stuck around stayed all the way to the end.
Yeah, but you lose them. So that's a good point. Is you're not always going to get everyone to hang on all the time. But what have you found? Because when you like this is what we're talking about, right? It's the
Mhm.
analytics
Right.
because you see that. What can you learn from that on your next video?
Well, I put too much stuff in it. Like, this
Hmm.
one had too much going on. There was a lot of noises, there was a lot of animations, there was a lot of words.
They didn't. So your avatar, he hated it.
Yeah, there was a
He did
lot of,
not
like,
like
the
it.
screen in, out kinda thing.
Hmm.
Um, it was just too much. It was over edited, and they didn't like it. Yep, and the thumbnail, the original thumbnail tanked. Tank. So,
So
uh
so kind of like what I guess what I'm thinking is as you look at this, because we have analytics to help us, like
mhm.
if as you're looking at that, do you go back and see other videos that did well and then go, okay, why did this one do well? Why? And then incorporate that into your next video and then test it to say, okay, my audience really likes it when I do this kind of thing.
So, yeah, I'm gonna like this is me being extremely vulnerable. For the last like 6 to 8 weeks, I've been putting content out that, honestly, I'm not the most proud of. I just was getting the job done. And last night, after my video went out yesterday, I was like, what am I doing? And that's exactly what I did was I went back to my older content and saw what was working. And why I stopped doing that, I have no idea. I kind of have lost my way, but I don't know if you know, but I'm doing a course with a friend of mine, and I've been spending a lot of time on that, thinking about that. Matter of fact, Joe, I want to get with you after this. I have a plan in my head, but I've been not focused on my audience, and I lost my way, and I'm going to bring it back. But it was because I can study what has worked in the past. I'm
Right.
going to test it for because we're going to work hopefully in the future, and I'm going to go from there. I mean, the channel's not dead. I haven't killed it, but
Right.
I'm not really having to really help the sucker either. So,
But I think that's the thing that is, like, this is a cycle that
mhm,
this is not unique. People deal with this all the time. And it's
mhm,
more about like, okay, how do you fix it? And fixing it is going back and looking and seeing what worked and doing, like Daryl says, do those small tweaks. And so as you go back into it and adjust, you analyze it, look at it, adjust it, and then move forward and test it. And just doing those, even just a little bit different each time, your video, as it gets better, then all of a sudden it's like, and this could happen with anybody. Like you could literally get a new editor and they do it a different editing style. And then you have to go back and say, no, 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 no. Like it needs to be edited like this. So it may
mhm.
not be anything that you're doing. It could be, if you're not editing them yourself, it could be your editor that they just like this style, and it may work for another channel that they're doing, that doesn't work for your audience.
And that is so true of thumbnails too. But like that's true of an editing style, but that's also true of thumbnails. Because I've seen people that are like, "Look at this thumbnail." I'm like, "That'd be great if you were a gamer in 2007." Like
Yeah.
these are terrible.
Yeah.
These are terrible. But like it looks nice. So in your opinion, they're like, "Oh, this is a good thumbnail. The image is clear. I got some good words on it. It's nice and bright and shiny. It's big enough." Yeah, I get it, but you gotta do what your audience wants.
Yeah.
Um, there was a good comment right here that said that I just did this too. I put up new pictures. I have new photos. And if you haven't yet, this is the time to do some photos. So all you do is you don't have to go hire. I used to hire somebody to come out and take my pictures. You don't have to do that. Honest to God, I had my husband stand behind my desk right here with some good lighting, and we took these pictures right here. And you're gonna look like a total ego freak. You just make a bunch of photos. You make it an album in your phone, and then you have a ton of these expressions, so you can use them for your thumbnails. Because nothing's worse than you working on thumbnails in the middle of the night, and you're like, poop, poop. I don't have
Mhm.
a picture of myself. But
Yep.
if you get these done ahead of time, I always do this in January. In January, this is the time that I go through and make new photos. I do it again in the spring because I change my hair so often. You boys don't have to worry about that crap, but Christina does. And so keep those folders and have as many expressions as possible because it makes your life so much easier when you're creating thumbnails. That was a good tip right there. Thank you. Yeah, with no shoulder cut off.
No shoulder cut off.
Yeah, you wanna tick off Christina Smallhorn, make an image with
Yeah,
it.
have it just cut off right there on the side. That'll be a rant for a week.
Yeah, you wanna make me mad. That's it. That was a great tip. Thank you for sharing that. I do that twice a year. Twice a year.
Yep. The other thing too is if you do have a newer iPhone and you're running in the newer iOS, you can actually take the picture, and after you have the picture, if you tap and hold down on it, it will actually crop yourself out, and then you can text yourself your that info without you having to cut the background out.
Let's see if we can do it. Let's see how this works. Ooh, no. Let's see. Oh, I don't want that. Okay. Let's see if I can make me bigger. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. So this is what he's talking about. So if you hold on to the image, see, it literally like pulls it out and it's going to ask me if I want to copy it. And then you can copy it. And then I can just send that to somebody. I'm just going to put it in my family. They're going to be like, Mom, why are you so egotistical? But you can just literally, it's cut out now. All the background stuff is gone.
Yeah, you don't have to edit. It's already
No,
done.
already done. And I used to buy, I used to have, what was that called? I had, when they came out with, Remove BG. Do you remember
Mhm.
that?
Yeah,
Remove BG.
yeah.
I got that. I was like, "Oh my god."
This saves me
Then
so much time.
so much time because for years we had to sit there and like physically cut out
Cut it
each
out.
little thing. And when they came out with that, and then Remove BG came out, and then all the editing softwares had it. And I'm like, you guys don't even know how easy you have it.
Yeah.
I was walking up in snow both ways uphill. That's
And then if you missed a pixel or something, then you had to redo it because it didn't connect right, and you're like, "Oh."
no, no, and it looked
Yeah.
like boxes, and
Yeah.
oh, it was so bad, so bad. I remember doing it. Yeah. All right. Do you have any? We've got people that have messaged in. Have you
We
got any of those people up? Do you have any?
Yeah,
You're
as
working on
far
it.
as you're talking the channel
Reviews.
reviews?
Yeah, the channel reviews.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get them right now.
Okay, you
Again,
can do that. I can
technical
just
difficulties with my new computer, which is awesome, except for when I have to do live streams, and then I'm like, "Oh, I don't even have that email in there."
Well, if anybody's in the chat that is that
Here we
any
go. I've got a couple. I'm on this other system. I'll text you or I'll message you right now. So
okay.
here's
Okay. Canva has
one.
been great for background remover as well as if you don't have that option on your phone. Yeah, you know what? Like, but years ago, Canva, PicMonkey, none of them had that. So you had
Yeah,
to like
back in the day, yeah.
so they were showing you how to use like they had a lasso tool. Like you could like
Mhm.
lasso and it looked garbage. It was all clunky looking. And then there were so many there was just so many different things you could like you could try to make it look good. But once they came out with the background remover, not only that, they were really good about with the background removers, it's like the fuzziness in your hair. Do you know
Yeah.
how hard that is to do physically by yourself trying to remove it? Impossible. Yeah. But all those apps, they didn't have that at the beginning.
Yeah,
But
now with AI, the editing the background out is, like, so easy now.
yeah. Back in my day, we didn't have fingers like that. We had to physically do it ourselves. Oh, we're getting dropped. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. All right, we're gonna present. Screen share. All right, here we are. Sharing. Oh, look, you're in the chat. You got just because you're in the chat right there, front and center. Chagrin Valley Living in Northeast Ohio. I've never been there my whole entire with Spencer. Hello, Spencer. He's with Howard Hanna Real Estate. He wants you to subscribe. New videos every week with a lovely picture of himself. Um, so Spencer, I would say I would give more of a value proposition in your banner here. I love the picture of yourself. I think it's great. It's a good picture of yourself. I would just say something like your one-stop shop for Northeast Ohio real estate info or something like that. You don't have to put your name either. Um, like they'll find out your name when they hear you talk in your videos. So you don't need to put your name there. And then the subscribe you don't need, the videos every week you don't need. I just have a lovely image of I'm kind of seeing the image of Ohio in the background here. Just kind of like maybe fade up that blue a little bit so you can actually see the Ohio area. So that's what I tell you for your banner. I like your profile picture. There's nothing wrong with it. I just flip it the other way because it looks like you're looking away from your channel. I'd flip it this way so it'd be more like looking towards the audience. But that's me nitpicking. I can't help myself. So let's take a look at your about section really quick. Oops, why did that happen? Hold on.
I think you clicked on that link.
I did click on that link. All right, we got homes for sale. It goes straight to your. I would just add something here. I don't know how new you are. Just usually they have like an about section, so you want to tell the audience in this about section what they're gonna get from watching your specific videos. So like something about this channel is all about Northeast Ohio real estate, the best information about homes on the lake, something about, whatever your niche is. You just basically would write that in that area. And then you could tell them, as far as a link is concerned, you have it going straight to a website. That website doesn't have a place where it captures their information. I don't know if you have a pixel or anything on this, but what I found that works really well, and I tell this to people all the time, is that instead of using, them to go to your website to search for properties, because you can search for properties anywhere, realtor.com, Zillow, they all do that. Take them to somewhere where they're going to contact you in some way, shape, or form. So whether that be like if you would have Calendly, or you have just, fill out a form, something like that, that will grab or capture their information so that way they can contact you. That's what I would put there. Yeah. And you can put your email address, of course, in there. And thank you for not putting any outside links to any other social media sites. You're one of the few people that hasn't done it. And I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you because it's tempting. Everybody wants to build up their social media space, but it doesn't do you any good to put other social media sites here. What do you say, Joe Eves?
I concur.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. I concur. Would you like to add anything?
I like the color scheme. I liked it. Everything you said, I agree with. So I don't think he needs to really change anything, or I don't really have anything to add. I think you covered it really good. I do. If we're gonna go over thumbnails, maybe we could talk a little bit about that. Of
Sure.
like one thing I noticed, if you go up just for a second, like, do you see how clear his profile picture is? And
Mm-hmm.
then you look at the thumbnails, and they're not colored the same. They're off a little. So like one of the things, and this happens a lot, it's almost like you're washed out a little bit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is add a little bit of some color levels, but basically try to, that's like an oversaturation. So
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with having some contrast, but what you really want is your head, if you're doing that. Is he doing home tours?
I'm trying to figure that out. Is this a home tours channel or is this an informational channel? All
Well,
right. So,
let's ask him. He's on the stream.
right. So I'm going to tell you right now, you pick one or the other.
Yeah.
And I know that's probably contrary to what you've probably heard from other people, but you're either a touring channel or you're an informational channel. They're not the same kind of avatar. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you are a touring channel, then don't put your face on there, just do the house with the
Yep.
price.
Yep.
If
If you're
you're
if you're an informational channel, then you're going to follow what other people are doing in that specific niche.
Yeah. You know what though? He's not saying the same thing on his thumbnail as in the, descriptions. Like, the text is different. With mine, like, most people will say the same thing twice, so
Yeah.
he's at least using that.
Yeah. And his tour things is right too. Like he just has the house and the price.
Yeah, he says it's been anything, real estate in my city. So
Yeah.
what so one of the things of what we talk a lot about is understanding, like, who your avatar is and the niche that you're doing, and most people do think that their location is a niche. They think, "Well, I'm doing my city, so that's my niche." It's not. Like, what your niche is are you doing home tours? Are you a relocation specialist? Are you new construction? Are you affordable housing? Those are niches. That's what you want to
Mhm.
actually focus on with your content if you're going to put a strategy together. If you just want to put a bunch of videos up and confuse the algorithm, then you could obviously just keep doing what you're doing, because you're not sending a clear message one way or the other. So like what you ought to look at is, what do you like to do? Do you like to do new construction? Do you like to do uh, buyers, sellers that are relocating? Find that niche and then put that in there, and focus on kind of that strategy. I know there's lots of people and lots of coaches that will say, you got to be the digital mayor. You have to know, like, you got to living in, and you got to be here, and you got to do this. And the problem is yeah, you'll get some success with that, but you'll hit a ceiling. And we have a lot of people that we talk to that are like, I've done like every living in video I can do. Now I don't know. I don't really know what to do now with my channel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only so many pros and cons you could do.
Right.
You lose out on after a while, it's like moving to living in what is it? What else is there? Pros and
Pros and
cons.
cons. Yeah.
They're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Versus, tell me
Versus,
versus.
and then you do reviews. You go talk to, the best places to eat, the best places to, for
Don't do that.
nightlife. That's
Don't do that.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how far off you get with that living in thing. And then all of a sudden you're
Mhm.
a tour guide instead of a real estate agent.
Yeah. And that is one of those things that happens is that I see that with a lot of channels is that they start like reviewing restaurants. And you're a real estate agent. Do you really want to be a restaurant reviewer? I mean, honestly, you're looking to sell houses and you're sitting there eating a burger. great. That's really great for the local business. But you're not going to, I promise you, I've been doing this for a long time. And I started doing that where I was going around and talking to the newest, latest, greatest business that was opening up in the area. And then I would like feature them, you know?
Yeah.
And then I would have it on Facebook. And I did get them
Yeah.
business. It gave them business. It did literally not a thing
You
for me.
may have gotten to sell the business owner a house or
That's
something.
what happened. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you don't get like people that are going to the channel because they wanted, they want to buy real estate and you're reviewing a noodle shop.
Right. You know what? Noodle shop sounds really good right now.
I know. They have a new ramen place here and it's so good.
I want some good ramen. Well, look at here. We got a good news real estate. That sounds amazing. I love some good news. We have 4,000 subscribers and 112 videos. That is awesome. That is some good numbers right there.
Yeah.
Good numbers. Good numbers. Okay, so it's real estate, education, finance, and data. We got a lot of stuff going on in your you got too much going on in your profile, in your banner picture. I like the image. I think it's fine. You don't need to say weekly weekly uploads. You don't need to put subscribe. You don't need to put that you're on Instagram or Facebook, or that you're already on YouTube. Why are you putting YouTube's logo on there? I would just take this all out and just put real estate, education, finance, and data. Leave it. What do you say? Hey, Joe, what do you know?
Hey, I concur. I think it's great. I like his picture. I like that the way he's done it. Colors are great. Definitely just again, just
Simplify.
kind of clean it up. Just make it a little
Simplify.
simpler.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks good.
Yep. Profile picture's just fine. Let's look at his all right. Landlords in crisis, drastic rent cuts and rush to sell properties. I like your titles. Like, your titles are good. I will say this though. If you did a market crash video, your next video shouldn't be a market crash video. You might have done better is if you did market crash and then do another one about a month later. So
Yeah,
that way you're not trampling on the views of the other ones.
Yeah, let it marinate for a little bit.
So did you have this person on your stream? I have to know. I want to know, did you have him on your stream, or was you just taking a clip from his video? Oh, you're going after other YouTubers. I'm going to tell you one thing about doing that. I mean, your thumbnails are perfectly fine. Your titles are good. You're on your way. You obviously have had some kind of training and it's doing good. I would caution you on going after other YouTubers that are bigger than you are. It used to be a thing, but people now look at that as you're desperate, that you come from a place of, oh, I'm not getting the kind of views they are getting, so I'm going to make fun of them or belittle them because I don't have the exposure that they have. And that may not be what you're doing. I would just put it as, instead of saying their name or even their face or anything like that, just say you may have heard from other people. The problem is the audience is smart enough. They already know.
Yeah, they're following this guy already anyways, because your content is identical to his, as far as because it's all Crash Bros stuff, right? It's
the Crash Bros. That's what I call them, the Crash Bros, but I never say them by name. I never show their face at all, because it really tends to ignite the fire of people and piss them off. If they really will just tear into you. Letters and everything.
Yeah, the other thing too is you have an opportunity as you're growing. If you do it tastefully, of collaborating with someone. But if you're throwing them under the bus, I don't know if they are or not, but if you're doing that, then they're going to be like, why would I want to work with you? You trash my name or whatever. But it's a lot of, so it's kind of there's no playlist strategy at all. It's just chasing the titles, the headlines. The problem with doing this is you're going to burn out. You'll keep making, but you need to give it some time, because your thumbnails are good, your
Mhm.
titles are good. It's more just letting that video marinate for a while before you release another video that's similar to it.
You have an opportunity here. You obviously know what works on YouTube. If you had a good playlist strategy, you would have an opportunity to be just as big as any of the other real estate channels out there. Yeah, I mean, think the biggest names. Uh, you actually even have a good thumbnail strategy. Most people in the real estate niche do not.
Yep.
Do not. Uh, I think you have an opportunity here, a big one, um, that you can really blow up this year. I really, 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 really think you can. You're doing good stuff, kid. You're doing good stuff. I mean, like, honestly, we're just nitpicking. You're on your way. You know exactly what you're doing. You have a thumbnail strategy. I mean, if I was nitpicking here too, I'd make your image a little bit bigger. Your
Yep.
noggin. Because, like, I mean, if you look at Graham Steffens, his melon is much bigger than yours. You're gonna want to take your image, your face should be about like one third of the image of the thumbnail space. Even look at that Nick from Reventured. He uses
Yeah. His face is bigger.
yeah, I mean, he literally cuts off the
Mm-hmm.
top and the bottom, so you can look straight into his eyes. I mean, but that, like, again, nitpicking. You're on your way. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. But again, you need a strategy. I think that if you worked on that, you're gonna blow up this year. That's all I'm gonna say about that. What do you say, Joe Eves?
Yeah, I like it. I think he's got a lot of momentum and some really good stuff going. Just a couple little tweaks, and really just kind of lay out, if you are doing, market updates, maybe one playlist could be, just instead of saying, hey, let's give you some examples, maybe you look at what are some other things that fall in that niche of, your with like the market. Maybe it's, you say you're doing finance stuff, so maybe you talk a little bit more on that rather than the crash side, and you have like videos that you release in between these, so that these have time to actually uh, get as many views as possible.
Mhm. Yeah, he wants to know if you should start a brand new channel. No, I just think
No, he's got just more strategy on his playlists.
yeah, and understanding who you're making videos for. I think that's where you would benefit the most. What do you say?
Yeah. Is
Yep.
this?
What? Oh, sorry. I'm trying to find. I think I was trying. Like, there was some people that came in, and they got the 404 number, but I thought they came in on the. Like, if you look at the emails
Let
that
me
we
look.
got.
Let me see what we have.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The struggle is real. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't have that one for. Oh, you in the actual email?
Yeah, well, they kept getting the 404 number. So his name is Manuel Vargas, and I thought he came through.
Oh, let me look. I can find him real quick.
Yeah, and then the other one is Kyle Mark. He
He's
is
I put his in there. It's just that I
oh, okay.
am. That's all I got.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can get this one to work. Let's see if it searches. Let's see. Oh, here we are. Like Vancouver. Here we are. Here we are. Can you see that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of words going on in that. Like, honest to God, too many words. Like, it looks clean, right? The gray is clean and crisp and easy to read, right? But you have Kyle Mark Real Estate Group, Kyle Mark enhancing individuals' financial portfolio, real estate in Vancouver. Partner with my to active your achieve your real estate goals. Uh, there's just too much. Like, and even the punctuation, like you have partner and then with my to achieve, partner with my to achieve your real estate goals. I think you're supposed to say partner with me to achieve your real estate goals. You got a spelling error there. Then you got your website. Then you got new videos every week. There is no subscribe button here anymore. So you're gonna take that off of there. There's no reason to advertise for Facebook and Instagram. There is no like little they just took those off, by the way. They used to have these like little widgets here that
Icons
you
you
could
could
click
put
on.
them. Yeah, you could link.
Yeah. So
That tells you right there that YouTube does not want to do that anymore. Like when they move stuff away, like yeah, at one point they had that, but they got rid of it. So it's like, okay, that's telling you they don't want to do that anymore.
right. You have your name Kyle Mark, and then your channel's Kyle Mark. I think everybody's got the idea that that's your name. I would not have that on your the front and center. You have the biggest word on there is your name. I would not make that the front and center thing.
I'd be like relocating to Vancouver.
Right. What is going to capture their information? What is it that they need? You want that to be the most front and center thing, the thing that's going to capture their attention. It's not you. I mean, I'm not saying this to hurt your ego, but no one gives a poop about you. Whoops, almost slipped. Almost slipped. They care about what you're going to do for them. So you got to make sure that that is on the banner. Show them what is about them. What do you want to say, Joe, without cussing?
I like his picture. I like his colors. I definitely think you could have like, Vancouver is beautiful. Have like a really cool like area of Vancouver or whatever. And then, again, does he have just on those other links? Are they going to like Facebook and Instagram, or where are those going?
Instagram, his website, and Google reviews.
It looks like he has a meeting. Is that like a actual like squeeze page right there?
No, it's Instagram.
No, click that one.
Okay.
See if that goes to like a.
Oh, it is. Thank God. Move that one up.
Yeah, that should be like the only link you have on there. And then instead of saying website, have it say schedule a call or book a call with me, something like that.
Yep.
Super clear, easy. I know it seems like, well, that's simple and straightforward. People should know that, but like just being very direct, like will help you. Because ultimately what you're trying to do is get people to call you. And if it's very simple and easy, then they'll do it. So if that was the button, hey, if I want to schedule a call, I can click that button. And now all of a sudden it gives me a chance to do it. Here's something I would do that you're not doing that would help you get more leads is before it goes to this, it looks like you're doing it on like a high level account or something like that. But what I would do is I would put a squeeze page on there first, and the calendar could be the second page, so that if they don't feel like they want to actually schedule a call, you at least captured their name, phone number, and email. And then it loads this page where then they could pick a date to talk with you. Because they may be like, none of these dates or I don't really know if I want to do that. Well, now all of a sudden you captured their information that you could follow up on or add them to a drip campaign of some sort to where you're giving them information about Vancouver.
I agree, Joe Eves. I love it. I love it. Can you see this one?
Yep. No, I'm still just seeing about stuff. Is that what you want? Is that what you're showing me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, back to his channel. To his channel.
Yep.
111 videos. 2020 just started. Oh my God, no. That's almost 4 years.
I thought you were joking for a minute, so I'm like, okay, I'll let her just.
Well, I was like, my brain cannot wrap. Like when somebody
We're
says,
2024 right now.
Yeah, when somebody said, "Oh, like back in 2020, that was over 20 years ago." I'm like, "No, wait, no, oh, yeah, I guess it was." Wow. I like these thumbnails. They're a little busy, but I like how the colors pop off the screen.
Yeah, it really pops.
I think it's your titles.
Yeah.
The thumbnails are fine. It's your this is rare for me to say this. Mark this down in the history books. It's not your thumbnails, it's your titles. Yep. You need to like these are reading like stereo instructions. You need to juice these up. And see, you put Vancouver real estate and then Vancouver housing market in the same title. It's truncated off. You're trying to like, game the system and do a little keyword stuffing. That ain't gonna work. That isn't gonna work. YouTube knows what you're doing. I would
Yeah.
not do that.
Really just put a title that would be interesting that a human that is looking at it would be like, "Ooh, I wanna click on that because you're giving me more information about that."
And I would decide who you're making content for, because I see that
Yeah.
it
You're
looks
doing
like you're
stuff for
doing stuff for,
agents.
yeah, you got mostly it's for people wanting to know about your area. Then you have something about real estate agents. Like the average person that's looking to buy, sell a house in Vancouver don't give two flying poops about what agents are using as far as chat GPT. I
Yeah.
would not do that. And then you have like stuff about Airbnb, then you have a housing disaster, then it's sellers. Like, are you talking to sellers? Are you talking to buyers? Are you
Investors.
investors? Who is it? Who is your avatar? I think that's the other thing. But I mean, your thumbnail game has improved drastically. I mean, it's like night and day difference.
Yeah.
Big improvement. You should be proud of yourself.
I would say the biggest thing is just look at really what type of client you wanna work with and what niche, and focus on just
Mhm,
doing content for that.
mhm. Yep. I concur. I concur. Who else do we got? Yeah. Oh, check your pool home realtor. Pool home realtor. Pool home. Oops, I could spell home right. Home
Uh,
realtor. Realtor. God forbid you say it wrong. There we
yeah.
go. I feel like we've done this channel before. Yes, we have. A long time ago. We did this a while ago. Do you remember this? Can you see
Yeah.
this?
Well, he's on. Let's do it real quick. We
Yeah,
can give
of
him.
course, of course. And he did fill out the form. He filled it out.
I wonder if they got an old one. I'm gonna need to look at it because if they're getting 404 errors, we got to figure out why it's doing that. But
Well,
okay.
I grabbed it from straight from the website. So there it's something with our website.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see.
It's not them, it's us. All right, we got selling pool homes in Southwest Florida. Look, he knows what his niche is. It's people with a pool. And how
Yeah.
smart is that? Because like what, 75% of people in
Have a
Florida
pool.
have pools, but
Yeah.
not everybody knows how to maintain them or understands them or get the right inspectors. And hey, that's pretty genius. What do you think,
Yeah,
Joe?
I like it. Let's see what I think his banner is totally fine. The profile picture is great. What I'm interested in is what does his content look like?
One other thing though is like why PA? Because that would makes me think that it's Pennsylvania, right?
Pennsylvania?
Yeah, but he's selling in Florida.
Well, is it like a one of those little things you put at the end of your name?
But other people, you got to remember, people are stupid.
Yeah,
Like they wouldn't understand.
I don't even know, and I'm in broker.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't
yeah,
know what it is.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with your banner, by the way.
Yeah,
Like
it looks great.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with your profile picture. But I need to know what PA means. All right, manual. See, you're talking about yourself in third person. Hate that first off. Secondly of all, because you're the one who's writing this crap, right? Everybody knows that. So when they're reading this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, look, Manuel's talking about himself in third person." I would make this more towards them. You're talking about yourself. You're not talking about them.
Yeah.
I would say like because it's like Manny is a skilled negotiator. Like who's writing this? It's not a novel about yourself. This should be like directed towards them. Yep. I would take all the social media stuff off.
Yeah, just have a simple landing page where they can put their information in to get a hold of you.
I concur.
You could have, if you wanted to, where you're obviously sorting that by pool houses, but people can do that on realtor.com and Zillow and all that stuff. So what I would do is have a squeeze page before that
Mhm.
gets their information, and then it could load this page after.
Mhm.
But this doesn't, I mean, yeah, they can look at it or whatever, but what you really want is you want people's information. So either they call you or you call them to follow up. And yeah, it's great that you've got your listings and everything in there and it's sorted that way. But personally think, most people, like, the thing you want to do is talk to them. And then you
Mhm.
could say, hey, I'll send you a personalized list of every house that has a pool. And then you could send them a link to this.
Mhm. I wanna know why this house went from $3.2 million to $250,000. I'm very interested. How did that
Maybe
happen?
no insurance.
I get well, I mean, come on, did it go down that much or
I
did
don't
it
know.
I don't know, like, now I'm curious. I got off on a
He
sorry.
should make a video on that.
Yeah. Let's find out why this house
Why did
went
this drop that much? And or is it,
$3 million.
yeah, or is it wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, like, this one went down 4,000. No, but I mean, that this makes sense that, like, as close as it is to the water, that it'd be $3 million. What happened? Like, did it flood? I
Yeah.
wanna know. Oh, the curiosity is killing me. I hate being that nosy. I wish I wasn't like that.
Oh, he
Alright.
says the PA is professional associate. It's my S corp name.
I wouldn't put that as your title of your, it just makes it seem like you're in Pennsylvania. If I saw that I mean, me,
Mhm.
quick glance, you remember people's attention span is
Yep.
very small. You got like a puppy, you know? I was thinking Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and you're selling in Florida. So, you can put that in your, like, about
In your
section.
about where at the very bottom where your information is, but where your
Yeah,
title.
yeah, but I wouldn't put that as your channel title because again, I'm just,
He's saying he thinks it's an error. That'd still be funny if you made a video on it and then it's like, just kidding.
yeah. I just found the most fantastic home right on the beach for $250,000. It just came down $3 million. Yeah, yeah, yep, that's what I do. I won. Let's look at the videos. Um, Cape Coral, Florida housing market has shifted. Is it time to panic? So this is one of those things that I tell my students. Don't don't make a question, make a statement. Nothing will get people more anxious to click than if you say, Cape Coral housing market has shifted. It's time to panic. You make a statement.
Yep. You're saying the exact same thing,
Right. Right. You're
but
saying the
the point is totally different.
right. Instead of is, you're at, is it time to panic? Like then it sounds like you're wishy-washy. But if you say it's time to panic, people are like, "What do you mean it's time to panic? What do you mean? I want to hear what he has to say." Yeah, I learned that over time. I learned that. You got some good views on that, and I think I know why. Your thumbnail was pretty good. I'm not in love with the words on your there's no reason to write the word Cape Coral, Florida on your thumbnail when it already says it in the title. So I'd take that
Yeah.
off of there.
And it's red. Red's really hard to read.
Correct.
And the next one, like with, Bonita Springs, like you don't need those. That's little. If they're on a phone, it's gonna be tiny, but it's you have that again in your title. So you're just kind of saying the
Repeating.
same thing.
Mhm. Yep.
Try to find things that are more like visually that someone could look at it and like if it's a market reset, what graphics could you put on there rather than saying market reset to make it seem like that? And with AI and stuff that you can do now with ChatGPT and Dolly, like you could create some really cool graphics, still put your picture on there, do your
These are all
expression.
AI. You could these are AI.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that is, but
Okay.
but all I'm saying is that's just housing, but like you could get
Mhm.
really like you could say, hey, do a housing market reset graphic and then see, like with, like a big reset button or something,
Mhm.
like there's lots of things you can mess with and it can create it pretty quickly. That's why I mention it is because they are all AI. But
Mhm.
but again, I would try to stick with like a thicker font and don't like the at glow or whatever you're adding to it, it just makes it so it's not as clean. Just have it like clean.
Right. And pick a font. You
Yeah.
got, like, 3 different fonts. Pick one and stick with it, you know? Yeah, and then again, we always tell people this, either you're going to be a touring channel or you're a informational channel.
Yeah.
And it looks like most of your stuff beforehand was a lot of touring. So either you're going to be a touring channel or you're going to be an informational channel. But yeah. And then again with this question, what would come next?
Yeah.
So I would just, instead of saying what would come next, just say demand for the Esarita, Florida housing market is, and it's already truncated off. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing is as you're doing your titles, try to keep them around like 65 characters because that way they're not getting truncated and you can get your message across. Think of it this way as like if you're going like back in the day, of course, we're talking like maybe it still has it, I don't know, but like you'd walk down the aisle and you would see like the National Enquirer and they have like these outrageous titles. But you stopped and you looked at it because you were like, whoa, what does that have to do? And they 1, 2, 3 words total, you can get a point across. So try to keep that between the 65 characters, and that will just help with your thumbnail. And then when they read the title, that's that juicy, punchy title that gets them to want to click and do statements like Christina is saying rather than questions.
Yeah, I take that whole question part off and said demand for Estero, Florida housing market is slowing down. That's it. That's a statement. Leave it there. But another thing I want to show everybody this is a little thing you probably didn't know is over here on the right hand side is what is being recommended next to your video. So if they're watching this video, most likely they're going to see these thumbnails of videos as well. So like see how your videos, your thumbnails stack up against other people's videos in their thumbnails, like their titles. Look at their titles. This guy, Ben, is copying the heck out of Michael. Look, you know why? Look, he's doing the sunglasses. He's doing the same kind of pose because he knows it works. I saw this guy, Ben, up here before too. Look, he's up here too. He's ripping that other guy right off. Look, Ben is trying to look like Michael.
Yep.
But he's doing it because it works, you know? He's doing it because it works. Yep. So this is what they're seeing. So that, I mean, put that in perspective on your own videos. Just want to let you know that. So anyway, all right, Joe. You know what? You know what we have to do? We have to plug our stuff. You haven't yet joined the course. Real Estate Video Geeks. We're there every single week. Well, as soon as we get done here, we jump over to our students and we start answering their questions and taking them and walking them through the course. Even after you finish the course, you're still a member. Isn't that right, Joe?
Yeah, and the thing is that once you sign up, you're with us for the long haul. We've had people that have gone through the course 4 or 5 times and they still show up because they're understanding more and more and they have more questions and they're like, what else can we do? How else can I do this? And so like we really do want to have value and help, you know, anyone that wants to grow their channel and wants to do it to where they can get, you know, organic leads. It does take some time, but if you do it right, you won't cap like you will with some of the local like the local niche market stuff that have been told to do.
No cap. That's what the kids say. No cap.
No, I don't know. I can't even understand. I had to create a chat GPT so I could understand my kid. I'm like, tell me what all of this stuff means because I have no idea.
You have no riz.
Yeah, I apparently don't. Like, I'm like, what is she talking about? So like chat GPT is my translator for that now.
I'm testing the thing for us to see if this works because we were having a problem with the
with the form. Yeah, let's find out what's going on here.
Yeah. You don't forget you have to agree. You have to agree at the bottom. I think that's maybe that's part of it. Let's see if that works. Maybe they're not checking. Oh, nope. Look. 404.
I'll have to look into that and see what's going on there.
We're still getting the email though.
We get them though. So that's the weird thing is it's probably the redirect or something that's going on.
Yep.
Yeah. See, it just came. I got one. It just came through.
Yep.
That's weird. Yep. Okay. Well, yeah, that's good. We'll definitely look into it and see, you know, we got to take our own advice. We can't help you guys out. Getting leads and following up.
Well, thank you everybody for stepping in and actually like really participating in the chat during the stream. It was really awesome. You
Yeah,
know,
it
it makes it
definitely
a lot more
helped.
fun.
Yeah, it helps. And also like don't be afraid, even if you haven't submitted a channel review, if you're on, like we'll talk to you about any of that stuff. Like
Yeah.
we love doing this stuff.
Yeah. It's one of the things I truly do enjoy is talking YouTube stuff. I love doing it.
Only thing I don't enjoy is when my camera doesn't work and then you had to fly solo for a little bit.
Oh,
But you're
well,
but
I'm
you're
used to
used to
talking to
doing
myself.
live streams by yourself, so it's fine.
I always start them off by myself, it seems like. I would say 50% of the time I started by myself. It's okay. You're
Well,
busier than
you're the one that hits the start button.
I am. Yeah, I hit the start and I can just talk. I have no problem talking to myself.
Well, seriously, thank you guys for watching and participating. It really does and add more value for those that are listening and watching, to implement those things that we talked about. It will help your channel for sure.
It will help your channel. Here, we're gonna get some music on the way out. It's very hip,
This is like more like,
dreamy.
yeah, there we go.
It's gonna make them go over there inside of her.